This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, we're back on the Tom Barnard Show this morning. Everything's going pretty well. What's the look on your face? What are you looking like that for?
Who is this hosting the show today?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you guys. When I got here today, I got a little earlier than you guys got. And as I was sitting down, I caught my package on the desktop, just like that pole vaulter in the Olympics. Did you see that guy?
Yeah. No. Imagine missing out on a medal because your schlong is too big.
It did catch on the bar. I saw the video.
I don't understand. I guess this is how we're starting the show, so I'm just going to dive right into it.
I'll dive right into it, man.
I don't understand if you're in a situation where you're in the Olympics and your package could cost you the podium. How are you not tucking or taping or something along those lines? Right. I need more compression down there from the Italian, because there's no reason why that should be that should not be ruining your medal chances at the Olympics.
So they did take it away from him because he caught his package on the bar, right?
Well, they didn't take it away. It's just like,
they didn't.
It's more so Tevin, if you missed it, there was a pole vaulter.
Yep.
Who, in his attempt, it was going to be like the record setting, or to put him into a spot to win some sort of medal.
Yep.
As he was coming down, these suits, these track suits are thin, they're tight, they're skin tight.
Yep.
But you see you see his schwanz on the front just catch the bar for the pole that goes across that he has to vault over, and just knocked it off. And it was only because of that.
Gosh.
In a sport of inches.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's a hell of he now has a great pickup line for when he goes out places. Like, no, I didn't get the gold medal, but you saw why I didn't get the gold medal, right?
Yeah. Okay. You do know the video's on Wise Brother, right?
I didn't know. I did not.
Go on the complete sheet. It's about the fifth story down, and there is a video, and it shows very clearly what happened. Have you seen the video, AJ?
Yeah, I have.
It's like, holy Christ.
I saw a guy online say, this is why if this is what's separating me from the Olympics, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah, well, that's true. You can have the gold as long as you got the big package. That works, right? You track it down yet?
Oh my God.
I did. Yeah, that definitely appears to be the case for why he did not win gold.
Here he comes. He's over the bar. Nope, his package definitely knocked the bar off. There's no doubt about that.
Just unreal.
Why did it have to be an Italian, though? That's the big problem, because now when Sansevere comes on today, one of my brothers in packagery, I got the same setup. I can't even sit at a desk. Yeah. I can hear Sanny already. Ugh. Anthony Ammirati failed the bar, and the commentators are clearly having a hard time acknowledging what happened. I have not heard the commentary, but yeah, I suppose. What did they say? I have not heard the audio. So what did they say knocked the bar off?
I'll see if I can pull it up here for you.
Oh, that would be magnificent, because I don't know what I would say.
Although I think his shins hit it first.
Did they?
Yeah. So I think they would have got knocked off no matter how whatever is going on over here in his crotchal area. Yeah, I think his shins definitely hit it first, but
really,
the package definitely didn't help.
Okay, I'm watching.
Got caught on the way down.
Also,
his shins did hit it first.
I do need to. Let's see here. I do need to correct myself. It was a French pole vaulter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought Ammirati was an Italian name.
I thought it was an Italian this entire time, but I guess it's not.
Anthony Ammirati is French. Okay.
I wonder, it could be like maybe his parents are Italian, but he grew up in France, so he
maybe
pole vaults for the French.
That's really nice how once his schwanz catches on the bar, it starts flopping up and down. Like, okay. This is what we have, ladies and gentlemen. The commentary coming up in seconds from AJ.
Here we go. You ready?
Absolutely.
What happened here, Coach Judy? On the way down.
Just zero acknowledgement. Just what happened here? You can hear they see what happened, and then it's more of a I don't want to say it.
Right,
Jim.
we all
break
can
it down.
see.
What just happened there? Pole fell. Pole fell.
You know who told me about this first was Catherine. I'm like, really, Catherine? You did, how many times did you watch it?
It's glued to the Olympics.
Glued to the screen. Anthony Amirati. So maybe he grew up in France or something. And just apparently one of the people on the dais, you couldn't hear him, but he said, "Help, I'm dying." Yeah, that's the first. I don't ever remember anybody schwanz catching a bar before like that. You remember that?
No, and I'm sure it probably happens in pole vaulting more than we would imagine, but because it's on the biggest stage and this is the only time anybody ever watches pole vaulting, that everybody notices, pays attention.
Yeah.
So the good news is the America's tied for first in the golds now, which is nice. They picked up a bunch of them over the weekend, so they're charging on.
Have either of you guys seen this weird one-sided beef with Australia that we have?
No.
It's developed over the last couple of days here, but for some reason, like as of last Thursday or Friday, the United States had I don't know, 6 gold medals, but we were leading in total medal count.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, a lot of Australian media outlets were doing individual attacks, the U.S. are they lying about the blah 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 and changing it to swing in their favor because they're arguing you're supposed to go by the most gold medals and the team the country with the most gold medals is number 1 and then so Australia actually is in 3rd place and the U.S. is in 6th. Well, 48 hours later, as we sit here on Monday morning, China and U.S. are tied, and the Australia has about half the amount of total medals as the U.S. But it's been so weird because literally everything I've seen is Australian makes a video or says something, blah, 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 and Americans are like, hey, just give it time. We don't care.
Right. We have 19 gold medals. They have 12. Also, China has 21, it looks like. But yeah, 72 total medals to Australia's to Australia's 31. So calm down, Australia.
No question. Well, you know what this is? They've been watching the political battles in America, and all they do in those battles is lie about each other. He did this, and no, he did this, and she did that. And it's all lies. All of it is lies.
Yeah.
But that's Australia figured we'll do the same thing.
Yeah, rigged medal counts and rigged elections. USA.
No, it's gotten disgusting with this whole thing. And I'm having kind of fun because I removed myself from it completely. So it's kind of fun watching these two go at each other, and it's all bullshit. All of it. It's just he did this, and then there was he once had a cat, but it disappeared. Yeah, sure, okay, whatever. I just do they enjoy watching this hatred? Do you think that's why they do it so much? Is because people like to watch them lie and hate one another?
Yeah, people love to watch a train wreck in process.
Well, I don't. See, it makes me uncomfortable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I would say it's an outlier compared to most people.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people, if it's chaotic, and I mean that's why documentaries about serial killers or scams or whatever else, people are always glued to those.
They are indeed. There's no question about that. But I just don't understand why it is that. I was talking to a guy. I ran into a friend a few days ago. And I was talking to him, and he asked me a question about the Q and all that stuff, and I told him it was all political bullshit and all the rest of it. He said, "What do you mean?" And I described it to him. And the other guy with him walked away because he thought I was attacking one of the political parties. It's like, no, I'm just telling you what happened. It's just so weird that people get that wound up. You do understand, folks, that the two political parties don't give a rat's ass about you. They just want to win. I mean, do people understand that?
Yeah, I think so. Or I guess I would hope so.
Yeah, well, I would hope so too.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I'm going to do the right thing today and get out on time so we can keep the show on schedule. What do you think?
Hey, your name's on the show. You can do whatever the hell you want.
All right. I'm going to stand up during this and adjust my package since it did catch on the desk when I just got here, a while ago.
Yeah.
So, how many guys are going to claim that's happened to them now? 99% of guys go, that's exactly what happened to me when I hopped on my bike, and the metal bar, which men have to have, is not fair.
There's a pickup line or something somewhere.
Well, I mean,
yes.
I was, very close to qualifying for the U.S. pole vaulting team, but yeah, similar situation behind closed doors as the French guy.
Oh, God. The French guy with the Italian name. I love it. We shall take a break. Be right back in a couple of seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Phil will join us. Minnesota business owners, you pay too much in taxes. You don't have to take my word for it. The Tax Foundation has just released its state business tax climate index, and Minnesota is near the bottom with the 45th worst tax climate in the United States. I think it's actually the 46th. I think they're off by one there. It's even worse. When you expand, relocate your business to Sioux Falls, you'll be basking in the second best tax climate in the nation. That's just one reason why no matter what size business you own, you can increase your profits in Sioux Falls. We've got the proof at SiouxFallsDevelopment.com. In Sioux Falls, our safe streets, award-winning schools, short commutes, vibrant, growing downtown, and a pro-business attitude, which never hurts, are all attractive reasons to make your move. And we've got motivated workforce that's ready to help your business grow, which is always wonderful, having help get that business bigger. Escape the high taxes of Minnesota by planning your expansion or relocation to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 2024 is the time to make your move to Sioux Falls. Check out SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Mike Lindell of MyPillow employees, like Dawn, my pal. Want to thank my listeners for all of your continued support. Thank you. They're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM. And you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets only $29.98, and take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything's on sale from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb, dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. So all you have to do is call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at TomBarnardShow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Phil Mackey is about to join. You know why I'm doing that today?
There he is.
I
Harry
have
from
never
heaven.
seen the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off before. And Harry appears in it I think he's doing a White Sox game. No, is he doing a Cubs game? I can't remember.
I think it's a Cubs game, but I will admit, I have never seen that movie straight through.
It is hilarious. Those guys do an amazing job. So I had never seen it before. We watched 3 movies over the weekend that I've never seen before, and all 3 of them were just terrific.
Do you remember what the other 2 were?
What's the one? Deepwater Horizon. Did you ever see that one?
I don't think so.
It's a true story about an oil well that blew up in the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay.
Killed like 12 people. I mean, it was just hideous. It's a very well acted movie. There's a really good people in it.
Very uplifting.
Very uplifting. Yeah. So we start with Ferris Bueller's Day Off on Friday, which was very, very funny. I'd never seen it before. And of course, you know, you got Harry in there, and he also sings Elvis Presley songs on a float he's not supposed to be on, which is pretty cool. Very well acted. Then Deepwater Horizon came on, a bunch of really good people in that as well. And then last night we watched, and I'd never seen it before, and I don't know why, The Big Lebowski.
Oh, there's another one. Yeah.
Great movie. You know,
I feel like it's like among people my age, sort of mid to upper 30s, it's like an anthem from your childhood or something.
Yeah.
It's like one of the most popular, not an anthem, but like it's one of the most popular movies for people born in the 80s.
You know why? There's a reason I've never seen that movie, and I did watch it. It is a terrific movie. Very, very well acted by everybody in it. No question. Very well written. The reason I've never seen that movie is because the Coen brothers were supposed to appear on the KQ morning show to promote it. But apparently one of their other buddies told them I was way too political, so they canceled without telling me. I go, and here they are, the Coen brothers. They weren't there. It's
So
like, well,
you,
quick about it, you know.
So have you boycotted all Coen brothers movies? Here?
No, just when I go to you and you're supposed to be on the air and you're not, that does piss me off. So I just didn't personally see that, and I'm really glad that I did finally see it, because it is a terrific movie. It's really good, but people in their politics, when they get that wrapped up, it's like, what are you fishing for here, actually? You trying to make yourself look better? Is that what you're trying to do?
So Coen Brothers was Fargo too, 1996.
Yeah, Fargo, yep.
And then No Country for Old Men in 2007, that's a great one.
Yeah, they make, believe me, the Coen brothers make really, really good movies, but I mean, if anybody gets that political, I just don't want to get away from me. Yeah. Calm down.
What did you do for that segment then? Did you just rip the hell out of them?
You got it. Well, I did basically what all Americans are doing now. I said, you know, they're Jewish. No, I did not. I'm just kidding.
So you just savage them for about 12 minutes and then
that's about right. That's about
fire a song and go to commercial break. Yeah.
And I said, oh, yeah. I don't understand. Look, you can have the most extreme politics in the world. What the hell do I care? Well, you're going to change my life because you're extreme politics? No.
Yeah.
I mean, calm down with this political bullshit. They're in it for the money, folks. All of them. They're in it for the money. They don't give a rat's ass about you.
I feel like we're all just in it for the money. Whether you're a politician, whether you're a podcast host, you know, we're all selfish trying to pretend like we're not. Let's just be honest.
I wasn't going to mention this yet, but now that you brought it up, I'm firing everybody else on the show except for me, so I get all the money.
Yeah,
you know what I
that
mean?
would work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a great idea. Just sit here and
We'll give you the StreamYard login, and you can just kind of figure it out every day.
I have a question for you. I'm looking at you right now, and you're sitting much higher than you normally do when in the video in the show. Did you ever catch your package on a bar going, pole vaulting? Did that ever happen to you?
I wish it would happen to me more often, quite frankly.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yes.
Some of us don't have that luxury.
Exactly.
Definitely wasn't cold in the pool for that high jump guy, right? Pole vaulter. It was a pole vault, right?
Yeah.
In more than one way. Yeah. He let go of one, and then on the other side there was.
Oh, he got the drum roll. He got the rim shot. I love it.
How about him though? Now that video is either going to haunt him or probably help him the rest of his life as it circulates around Google.
I don't think he's going to have a tough time getting a date.
No, probably not.
Wouldn't think so anyway. But you know who told me all about it and described it in perfect form? My wife, Catherine. Hey, did you see the guy's package on the pole? Like, gee, okay, hon, settle down.
You should get extra points for teabagging the bar across the top. You know?
Style points.
Artistic points. We need to add a category here.
So a question I do have, and I'm very serious about this question, and Phil, you'd probably be the guy to answer this question. Why wouldn't you, if you're going to be a pole vaulter, just to make sure, why wouldn't you wear a cup to make sure that doesn't happen?
Well, I think it would slow you down. I mean, I know enough, having played like 8th grade football, to know that you run a little faster when you're not as restricted with a gigantic plastic cup down there.
I suppose that is true. Yeah, you're right. So I guess
you're trying to, not to mention like the cup. I can't believe I'm about to say this live on a radio show podcast. The cup has a bulging nature to it too. You don't want that to get caught up on the bar, right?
It does indeed. You're absolutely right. My memory just came back to me. I got so lucky. I was pitching a league game, which it's the league ball, not the softball. Line shot right back at the mound, and I turned to the right just in time, so it hit me on the front of my left hip instead of right square in the schwanz. Oh God, would that have hurt?
Oh,
it hurt anyway. I mean, don't get me wrong, hitting that bone in my hip, that was bad enough, but
you'll take the trade-off though.
yes, I will.
Gosh. Speaking of, so I'm sitting here watching the Gold Zone channel again this morning, which is great. They have me hooked on like a Japan versus Italy men's volleyball quarterfinals match. That's what my life is right now. I'm just I'm just like jonesing for that men's quarterfinal volleyball hit, that water polo. But did you see the men's 100-meter sprint final yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so Noah Lyles, the American, wins it 9.79 seconds. The guy who finished in fourth place, there's a screenshot of the photo finish. The guy who finished in fourth place finished 0.03 of a second behind the gold medal winner. So it's like, here's the fastest man in the world. And then here's the guy that's literally right behind him, but there's two other guys in front of him, so he does not medal.
Yep.
So for the rest of his life, he will be a non-medalist despite almost being the fastest man in the world. It was wild yesterday.
Didn't they say that the winner won by like 5/1000th of a second or something?
Yeah, it was 9.784 to 9.789.
Oh my!
Between Noah Lyles and Kishane Thompson from Jamaica.
Yeah, and if you look at the photo, like, so I learned that it's the torso of your body, not the foot, because technically Jamaican guys.
The third place guy, Curly, had his foot across first.
His foot was across first, but because he can't lean properly, like Noah Lyles' nose like broke the line before everybody else's torso, and so that's why he won. So the picture doesn't even look like they got the result right.
By the way, the American play-by-play guy on NBC, and I can't remember his name, does a great job calling the Olympic running events, but he committed to Thompson, the Jamaican, as the winner in his play-by-play. Not once did he mention Noah Lyles during the race because he was behind the whole race or at the finish line. So it was, Jamaica's going to do it. Thompson gets the gold. Pause. Awkward silence. Wait. They're looking at the scores. Yeah, I feel like if races are being decided by 0.005 of a second, maybe give it a beat on the play-by-play just for the photo finish result to come in.
Yeah, because you can really build up the suspense at that point. Like, I don't know who won. Nobody does. Rather than now, Noah Lyles has this ruined piece of audio for his gold medal run for the rest of his life.
He's gonna have to learn French and get the foreign one for it.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I mean, we can bring this back to Minnesota because when I tried out for the Olympics, I did it in 9.8 seconds. They said that's not anywhere near fast enough.
9.8 would have I think. Well, it depends on 9.8 what, Tom? What was it? A 9.8?
No, 9.89. I think it was. Yeah.
Oh, that would have put you in seventh place actually.
Yeah,
for this. Eighth place would have put you in eighth place.
Well, and I saw the guy that took last in the race would have gotten the gold medal if this race was run back in 1988 or something like that.
Yeah.
I saw that with a swimming one, a down and back.
Oh yeah.
They beat him by 11 seconds. And somebody's like, so you're telling me that I'm supposed to think that 3-arm Johnson threw 161 miles per hour for the Cincinnati Reds back in 49? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, exactly. It just, man, those Olympics, one thing I do have to ask you, Phil, and I just love it, as a matter of fact. I'm assuming you guys, when you do your show, don't talk a lot about the Olympics because your partner doesn't give a rat's ass about the Olympics.
When we talk about the Olympics, it's like me, Declan, or Royce. Royce, just a quick side street. What he used to love doing when he was doing 3-4 hour radio shows in the afternoon, when they would, like they are this year, it's all happening live. Like I'm watching Simone Biles do the floor routine, right. And then in prime time, they'll give you the summary with the storytelling and stuff. And most people don't watch until prime time because it's Monday, they're working. Royce would go on the radio, and he wouldn't even give you a spoiler alert. He would just be in the middle of a Viking segment and say, "Oh, by the way, this happened, screw you all."
That sounds like Royce.
Primetime spoilers.
One of my favorite days of my life was playing golf. It was just the two of us, Pat Royce and me, playing golf. It might have been the most hideous golf match in the history of the game. Honest to God, I think together we shot about a 230 or something.
You mean you didn't eagle hole out back-to-back par fours?
No.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
No, we did not. There's no question about it. But God, Roy, that I don't know who put those guys together. Maybe they did themselves. But Soucheray and Royce was a brilliant combination.
Yeah, it was sort of like I believe it was the first regular sports talk show because it was a weekly Monday night sports talk show. WFAN in New York claims to be the foundation of sports talk, but that was the first 24/7 format.
Yes.
It wasn't the first sports talk show.
But I love the fact that one is a Democrat and one's a Republican, pretty heavily leaning on both sides too, but they're like best friends. Or at least they used to be. I assume they still are.
Yeah, they get along very well still. I think it's early 1980s, 1982, 83 is when they started doing Monday night sports talk with the character call-ins, these random people would call in the show.
I got to get Royce to send me because I know he has the audio, but he went after me one time in like 87 or 88, something like that. The son of a bitch. I guess I've never heard it, but I heard it was brilliant. I gotta listen to it. Maybe I'll play it on this show.
Bloviating.
He loves bloviating.
Four-eyed piece of crap.
That's exactly right. And now Joe and I are friends. So that's how life is supposed to work out.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. So Patrick and I did my first daily sports talk show was with Patrick, the Royce and Mackey show for 4 years. And as much fun and as great as it was on the air, the off the air show was 100 times better and probably would have gotten everyone canceled twice a week.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that, no question. Yeah. So as long as we're on sports, I'm from what I understand, your Twins did win it big yesterday.
Yeah, the Twins in probably the most pressure-packed series of the season, a must-sweep against the worst team in baseball history. The Twins tightened their belts, and they did sweep the White Sox. The White Sox are now on a 20-game losing streak.
Oh.
They are 27-87 on the season.
60 games back.
60 games under 500, and I believe they are 42 games back in the division. 41-42. Yeah.
On pace for like 123 losses or something like that.
God.
It's amazing. It is. Yeah, they've won. So we're August 5th today. The season started at the end of March. The White Sox have 10 road wins on the entire season.
Oh, that's so sad. It really is. Go ahead.
I was super excited because I got to go witness a historically bad team. I went out to the game on Saturday, and they're just as bad in person as they are on TV. Austin Martin had like what should have been a very routine single to left field to kind of land. I forget who, because frankly, who are half the guys on their roster anyways?
No.
Yeah.
But the ball just landed, and he did the old bullfighter Olay, just rolled down past him into the corner, and Austin Martin hustles around for. He advanced the third. It was a single, but would have been a triple had it, whatever. But they're just terrible. They're just a terrible ball club.
It's a disaster. Their post-game show is hilarious, by the way. So unlike most teams where, not to like rip the Twins too much here, but if the Twins are having a rough stretch, you can always count on the Bally Sports North post-game show to put a positive spin on things, right? Hey, the Twins may have lost 10-3 today, but we'll dive down and look at those 3 runs they scored and show you. The White Sox postgame show is Ozzie Guillen, the former manager, just teeing off on the franchise every single night.
I love that. I love reality. And, it's just too bad. To tell you the truth, when I lived in Chicago, I was a Cubs fan. I was not because I'm not going to be a White Sox fan. I still love the Twins, even though I was in Chicago the whole time. But I went with the Cubs, which, by the way, just that stadium would make you a Cubs fan.
Yeah, Wrigley. Yeah, well, and the contrast between Wrigley Field and whatever they're calling Comiskey, the new Comiskey Park,
U.S. Cellular, whatever.
It was a guaranteed rate field for a while.
I don't know. It's something stupid.
What's amazing is you see some of these. Like we got Target Field and all the rest of it, major corporation sponsor. I can't remember what team it is, but it's like Bill's Superette Stadium. Like what?
Yeah.
That's the best sponsor you could find, really?
And if you're the original naming rights sponsor, people are going to remember the stadium by that name.
Yes, absolutely.
More than they are the new name. Like Target Field, if that ever gets renamed to something else, people are still going to call it Target Field.
Yeah, that's
for years after the sponsorship ends.
Met Stadium never did have a sponsor, did it? I don't think.
The Met Stadium?
Yeah.
No, and then the Metrodome did at the very end. They played like 3 seasons without the Twins, but the Vikings were the only tenant.
Yeah.
And they tried to get people to call it Mall of America Field at the Metrodome.
Right. Yep.
It's like, no, it's the Metrodome.
That's it. All right, Pally, a brilliant report, I thought.
I thought so too, quite frankly. Yeah, we'll break down in depth the White Sox continued losing streak as often as you guys want, because it's hilarious to clown on them. Okay,
I have to ask you a question after talking about the pole vaulter. Why are both your hands under the desk?
Yeah, well, because when you've got watermelons the size of mine.
Well, sure, absolutely.
Extra support.
We'll talk to you on Friday, Pally.
See you guys.
Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Phil Mackey, SKOR North. But I do love the fact that Phil watches the Olympics, and you couldn't get his partner to watch 1 minute of it.
No, they need to start their show today with the Olympic theme song just to give it to Judd a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. No question. We'll take a break. Be right back. Chris Egert, very close to the time he's supposed to be popping on. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I mean, he's giving me the old.
Wait a minute, you did that?
But no.
Oh,
Chris
no,
did in the because AJ can see him backstage.
Because that's right. You can see him. Although, hey, shut up, Egert, you pill.
Although people all the time do mistake me and Chris Egert.
Well, that's true. Yes, because of your height.
Yes,
that's what it is. Hi, Tom Barnard here for Livia Weight Control Centers. Your success story starts with Livia. When you join Livia's doctor-recommended and award-winning nutrition program, you'll receive 50% off. And Livia Medical is offering $75 instant savings on GLP-1 medications. Whatever you need to make your weight loss journey a success, it starts with Livia. You'll get personalized one-on-one support, expert nutrition and medical support. Choose the trusted leader serving our communities for 15 years. As a matter of fact, I talked to Carol, one of the people that runs the joint over there, about how wonderful it's been. It's been a few months now, and not only did I lose, all that weight and all the rest of it, I'm having a lot of luck keeping it off. I like to go for walks, and it inspires me. My weight loss inspires me to go for my walks because the whole thing worked out beautifully. And it's not difficult. That's the other thing. It's not like I'm on this diet and I hate it. You can't do that. You got to be on a diet that works for you and you actually enjoy doing it. Visit Livia.com. That's Livea.com, or call 855-GO-LIVIA and receive 50% off Livia's nutrition plan. Plus, if you join Livia Medical, you'll get $75 instant savings on their GLP-1 medications. Semaglutide, you got your tirzepatide. Visit Livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Accelerate your success with Livia.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Well, Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, should be yours, except Josh is not an expert at booking dinners because he wanted to go out to dinner Saturday night, but I went to a family reunion up on Lake Osakis near Long Prairie, Minnesota, so we weren't able to do that. And Josh was like, oh, okay. You're going to spend time with your family. I understand. Wake up, you pill. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. So call Josh now for a no obligation 48. That's very important, by the way. It's no obligation. 48-minute evaluation. You got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold, investment consultant, LLC security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Ron Majors. Oh, wait a minute. It's not him anymore.
Boy, to even have 1/100th of that talent, I would.
Oh, here we go.
What?
The talent of what? Boozing it?
Well, no, I'm pretty good at that.
You're pretty good at getting that done. Your mic sounds very, very distant again. I don't know why.
The mute, all the buttons.
It's not a mute. It's not a mute. It's just. Well, let me put it this way. I ran into a bunch of listeners over the weekend out in Wayzata, and one of the women said, because when I talk to people, I don't talk in my normal voice, this voice. When I talk to people, I talk up here so they can really, because some people, when I talk in my normal voice, can't hear me. Is that weird?
Well, your pipes there's something wrong with the mic. It's not connected. It's picking me up off the monitor. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Is the little blue light's not on?
I mean, you'll be fine. You sound good. You know, you're good to go anyway. And just
I don't people come into this room and mess around with things.
Yeah, you know who's doing it. Hannah's doing it on purpose.
She is. It's always Hannah.
She starts laughing in the background.
Always fiddling with things she shouldn't be.
I don't know if I'd say after the. Hey, Hannah, come on screen for a second. I got to ask you a question, and don't take this personally. But after what happened at the pole vault at the Olympics, should he have said Hannah's always fiddling with things?
Oh, Jesus.
What? I'm just asking a question.
Connecting two
he just
things.
leaves.
Wait, that is like two opposite things, like the pole vaulting and the Olympics.
Thank you, Hannah.
Hannah.
I didn't even, Ken told me about that today, about what happened at the Olympics. I didn't even hear about that until Ken told me, and I just, it's like, oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That happened?
Did it hurt him? Did it hurt?
Well, you didn't get a medal because of it, because, you know, that's, what are you going to, you know, Tevin did point out that his shins hit it first and then Ishvance hit it.
Yeah. Yep. His legs got caught on it first. I mean, still a rough way to not get a medal in the Olympics.
Right.
But technically, his feet knocked it off before anything.
If anything, his pride was probably more hurt than anything.
Yes.
But I got to be.
Pride's okay. He's known around the world as having a big. I think he's okay.
Does he talk like this now? Hannah, where you going?
I'm out.
Pole vaulter, I'm trying to talk to you now. What are you doing? Where are you? He talks like this now.
You think that's what happened?
Probably, yeah. His voice is definitely a few octaves higher, I'd say, after that one.
Just another advantage that women have over men. That'll never happen in the women's pole vault. What?
Their advantage we have.
You don't look at it as an advantage? Is that what you're saying? Okay, God. I wish everybody had the sense of humor you have, and I will tell you that. You have a great sense of humor.
Oh, thanks.
Not a problem. Are you a Viking fan today? You're wearing purple.
Vikes, yeah, let's go. Let's go, Vikes.
Let's go, Vikes.
By the way, they canceled their practice
they
tonight.
canceled their practice.
Because it's supposed to rain.
You'll
So
get refunded if you have the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Thunderstorms again, I understand.
All day.
God, Saturday night, that was bright and loud, man. Woo! That was unbelievable. And of course, we're taking care of not only our dog, but Alex, my daughter's dog. So we had 3 dogs looking out the window like, what the hell is that? One of them was terrified.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
So, Tom, who let the dogs out?
Ooh. Hey, we got a thing going. It's going to be the Egert Barnard. It's going to be the EB duet. It's going to be phenomenal.
Pretty good stuff.
No question.
Pretty good stuff.
So between the two of you, do you have a big story that you need to tell us?
Oh, dude, this is a horrible day.
Okay, well.
Well, the world markets are about to when the Dow opens today, it's going to be a bloodbath on Wall Street. Hurricane Debbie's making landfall this morning. It's going to cause like catastrophic flooding in like the Carolinas and Georgia. So your insurance rates are going to go up essentially is what I'm saying from that. I don't know. Iran and Israel are on the brink of war. Everything's great.
Well, except for one thing I do have to bring up. The etiquette's not very good because most men would stand up and give the lovely lady his chair when she walks in the room.
No, it's okay.
No, it's okay.
We might find out who the vice president is by the end of the day today.
We might.
Oh, you think so?
The pick, yeah.
Where is she now?
I don't know where. Do you know where she is?
They were having meetings all weekend, like sit down, personality profile type situation, and everyone's saying that she's probably going to make her pick today. So
today might be the pick. Did you guys have you leaning any special way in that one? Who do you think it might be?
I think Mark Kelly. I don't know that. I don't think it's Tim Walz. But I think it could be Mark.
Do you guys have somebody on Walls Watch where you're outside of his house and
TV's Tom Hauser, our political reporter, is on it.
Oh my God!
Hashtag Walls Watch.
Yeah.
Walls Watch. Where's Walls?
We don't have any Walls Watch branding or anything yet. Don't give anybody an idea because that would be Walls Watch.
Walls Watch. So before you two pills leave, how bad? So it's going to be a big. I mean, the market's not going to crash or anything, but it's going to drop like a rock.
Well, the Nikkei in Japan, I think it closed down 12%.
Oh,
it's like the highest it's ever.
Yeah. So who knows? Fall. Just because one thing does one, it doesn't necessarily. But I also just read this morning that a bunch of crypto got super devalued too overnight. So
is that because of Trump? Because he's promoting the hell out of Trump's promoting the hell out of that now.
Get your guy Josh Arnold on because seriously, there's probably going to be some people who are losing some money today.
I got to, we could probably have him on at 9 o'clock. Yeah, we should probably maybe call him at 9 o'clock.
That's not a bad idea. I might reach out to him and see.
Oh God, I feel much better now.
You're welcome.
On the show,
I'm here to deliver bad news and death and destruction every day.
So nothing new.
No. I was trying to find if there's one. Oh, and Suni Lee also lost today, so she's not going to get another.
Oh, that's too bad.
Really quick, Chris, before you go, I read and I don't know if this is true or not, but did Robert Kennedy Jr. did he admit to dumping a dead bear in a park?
Yes.
And he was gonna eat it. Somebody hit it on the side of the road, and there's a roadkill. There's a law like there is here. If something's freshly killed, you can pick it up and tag it after the fact. He was gonna eat the bear cub.
He was.
Okay.
He said his own words.
Wasn't there he put a broken bike too or something?
Yeah, there was a bike on top of it or something.
What?
And
I guess the baby bear in Central Park. Oh, he was also on a falconry trip when this happened.
Oh God.
I see this was too outlandish for me to just take at face value, so I didn't know if it was real or not.
I read it last night before I went to bed. I was like, dude, this seems like something that's made up. It's so weird.
And I guess the only reason he's talking about it now is because somebody found out about it and was going to write an article that doesn't.
The New Yorker was going to do a piece about it, so he got out preemptively. So
with Roseanne Barr.
Yeah.
Of all people.
So Roseanne Barr, Robert Kennedy Jr., and a falcon walk into a room.
He'll be great about that. He could sing "Killed in a Bar when he was only 3." Davy.
I would think Saturday Night Live will probably be doing something about the falcon. Somebody with a fake falcon on their arm.
Yep.
And a baby bear cub. I don't know.
Well, both of you geniuses get back to work and just carry Channel 5, will you?
We will. Thanks for saying.
Thank you.
We will. Thanks, guys.
I'll get this mic fixed by tomorrow.
You sound fine. Don't worry about a thing, sir. Thank you. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk. Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. We shall take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Do I have to put up with Sandy next?
You
I
sure do.
Oh, for
You
Christ's
sure
sake.
do.
Here we go. I'm going to have to run down the hall then, just after this, right after this. Let's take a second to talk about my bank. That would be North American Banking Company. Look, there's no shortage of banking options in the Twin Cities. If you're tired of being just a number to your big national bank, be sure to talk to my friends at North American Banking Company. They offer the same online and banking options as other banks, but with unparalleled service. That's the big part, the unparalleled service of a community bank. I also like being able to go to any of their 6 Twin Cities locations. That one in Roseville, 50th in France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, Maple Grove. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Mike Lindell and My Pillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the My Pillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevere Sports is brought to you by Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw & Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Bob, how was the weekend? How are you doing? Did you put any bears in a park on your way?
No, I didn't. I've not done anything like that.
No?
No falconry, no bears from the park.
You look like you'd be big in the
really. This guy really is. Even his own relatives say he's nuts.
Yeah, that was the big thing when he was running for, or potentially going to be running for president. They were like, yeah, we don't really endorse our own family member. So
well, he might be like his aunt that they gave a lobotomy.
Yeah, well, they probably knew about the dead bear story before we did, so they were like red flags about.
Well, they gave him that worm.
RFK.
So is the worm in his brain the same thing as the lobotomy? Who knows?
You talking about me?
Yes, specifically you.
Maybe
worm around his brain.
Maybe RFK Jr. with all those brain issues he has, it levels the playing field with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
There you go.
Because they all have their own issues.
Really, really nice, Bob, going after people like that. You know, don't worry about the thing.
Was it 330 million people? This is the best we can come up with.
I know. So what's the latest, Sandy?
Well, the latest is I finally watched some Olympics yesterday because I wanted to watch the 100-meter race. Noah Lyles, he's going to be a superstar because he will win the 200 unless he false starts, which he better not do. But he's going to be huge when he comes back because he's so charismatic. And all right, he won by 5 1,000ths of a second.
No, God.
100 1,000ths of a second is how long it takes to blink of your eye. So imagine that. How it's a 1/20th of a blink of an eye. It's infinitesimal. And if you watched it or you saw the replays, a lot of people think, well, wait a minute, he was the third guy to put his foot across the line. Doesn't matter. You got to have that barrel chest go across. It's the torso.
Yeah, it's the torso. Yep, you're absolutely right.
And it's not, they even explained it. It's not like at the clavicle if you come over sideways. Nope, got to be the torso.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just, and he does not have great starts, but he can burn it in the second half of that race, and that's why he'll run away potentially with the 200 because he just gets faster and faster.
Why do you find that to be true that he has such a problem out of the blocks, but then he just smokes it after that? Why would that be?
Well, just not, maybe that's why he started doing the 200 and became so good at that. He wasn't a great starter.
I guess.
You know, some people just aren't. You know, they don't have the great start, and some of them, maybe it's the case with him, they might have a tendency of, because it used to be years ago, and it's been a long time now, you'd get one false start, but now one false start, you're out. So some of them will hang back just that, you know, they want to make sure they're not coming out too quick because then they've blown it completely. Now, I don't know if that's the case with him, but potentially it is. So, but then the other thing I watched in the Olympics, and I was torn, Tom, very torn. The U.S. women, the two women who are beach volleyball participants going against two fantastic-looking eye tie women. No sideburns, by the way. They might have changed each other name. But those eye ties could play some volleyball. The U.S. wound up beating them, but it was tough, you know, for me to decide. And eventually, I feel great for the Americans, but I would not have been crestfallen had the eye ties won.
No, I understand. And I don't understand the fact that this guy's last name is Italian, but he's French. What the hell is that?
He might have moved up over the Alps.
He might have. I suppose that might be the deal.
Then the guy who's going to get the most out of these Olympics, though, is the French pole vaulter whose own pole knocked down the pole. This guy, the dates he's going to get off of this, he may become a porn star off of this.
Anthony Emirati is his name. He's the guy I was talking about. He's Italian, but he's actually French.
Of course, he's Italian. I knew he wasn't a real Frenchman. Of course he's Italian.
Just because of the package?
Yeah.
Guess who told me all about the package thing in very clear, descriptive language?
I'm hoping not one of your grandchildren.
No, it would be my wife.
Okay.
Jesus, Bob.
Yes, it was Andy's son. He called me.
Actually, I wouldn't put it past Andy's son because he's very smart.
Yeah, he's
like his papa.
He's a piece of work. There's no question about it.
Well, did you watch the video, Tom, of this guy?
Oh, yes, I did. It was very clear that it didn't just tick it either. It grabbed the whole package when he went over that bar.
It kept him from advancing to the medal round. But I'll tell you what, he's got to be proud. His parents are up in the stands. That's a good boy. That's my boy. His dad.
That's true.
He won his own version of a medal, a gold medal. So.
It says here, no, a pole vaulter did not lose out on a medal because of his massive bulge. But because you think they put it on his shins?
Yeah, I think his shins hit it hard enough where it caused the pole to kind of bounce and would have fallen off either way. But
no,
it definitely was
his package.
It was
Gus took it down. And why would he not? You know what? He should come out with a statement. No, it wasn't my junk.
That's a very good Italian accent.
He's French, but I'm trying to, he's got the Italian names.
With the name of Anthony Emirati, he's not French. I don't care if he was born in France. He's still not French. He's Italian.
That's right. That's all right.
That's all right.
And then there's the kid, the Italian gymnast, who's the ambassador for the best Parmesan cheese they made. It was a Parmigiano Reggiano.
Why not?
I love that she's the ambassador for cheese.
I don't even understand that because, like, what brand is it? Is it just is there just the Parmesan committee's just giving her money and she's just?
Oh, there's some big time Parmesan, and they should have an Olympic event where you have to balance on the cheese wheel.
I like the cheese wheel.
You have to you see people on like a
log roll.
Well, yeah, log roll. We have to roll it across the arena.
Or what's the country that does the cheese rolling down the hill and everybody chases it?
Oh, that's in Norway or something like that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's so weird. Once a year, they get a group of people on this like super steep, dangerous hill.
Yep.
And they roll a wheel of cheese down, and the first person to get down the hill and grab it wins. Is they're the champion.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of grown adults throwing their body at full speed down this hill, somersaults, and at bodies, limbs flying everywhere for cheese, it's crazy.
See, I would have one where you have to wheel the cheese, get the wheel down there, but the first one down there doesn't necessarily win. The first one to eat all the cheese winds up winning.
Oh, you and I'd be good at that
That's
one.
oh yeah, that's the competition. Tom, we got to go sometime. What is the one of that? How does it not? I'm trying to remember the name of the pizza place in near the mall, that Albertville Mall. The one where if you could knock off the entire, they have the giant 3-foot square pizza in an hour. You have 3 people. To me, it's a given. I'm not. I mean, I don't even need help.
No, I could do it too, Bob. There's no if I start eating pizza, they have to tell me, get the hell out of the kitchen, go away, because I just can't stop eating pizza. It's wonderful.
Is it Andy's 30-inch?
Andy's, that's it. Andy's Pizza.
Pizza challenge.
There you go.
Yep. That's the one. Should do the show from there, and we could put it. You could actually have let people come in with teams and see who wins.
I want to do a show from Andy's Pizza. Absolutely.
Andy's hometown pizza, I think it is.
Andy's hometown pizza.
Yeah, Andy's hometown pizza. And honestly, it doesn't look like that should be that big of a challenge.
I'll tell you, I've got a kid who likes just the crust. If I just take the cheese, he takes the crust. We don't need the third kid. Although I would bring my son Sawyer. He can put it away. He's like 170 pounds, but luckily he still has the good metabolism. And Shane's the one who just likes the crust. So I take the cheese, I fling the crust to him. We'll be done in 5 minutes.
You've never eaten the crust. You used to leave the crust at the KQ.
Why would you eat the crust with all that great cheese?
You should be put on a watch list.
You should. I agree.
You could eat more cheese when you eat less crust. It's simple physics.
And if Andy doesn't want us to come out to his store, then he can bring the pizza here. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to have to make the trip in. Tell him to bring two.
Yes,
I'll knock one off.
You would have.
Any of you guys, AJ or Tevin, do you like just the crust? Because we could put quite a team together.
No, if I'm having pizza, I want the full slice.
The full experience is what I'm into for the pizza. Yeah,
I could go eat just bread anywhere.
I will tell you though, in competition, I will eat the dough or the crust.
Sure.
Much
you will.
I will eat I don't drink, but I will drink in beer competitions because I don't think I've ever lost a beer competition.
Really?
You know, where you can knock down the mug.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, but only in competition will I drink.
I understand, Bob. You're not a big drinker. There's no question.
No, I mean, I don't do any training either. I just go.
Is this like is this like a professionally set up competition, or are you just like at your house, just like, all right?
No, I'm not at my house. I've traveled the world. I've done it when I went on vacation years ago, one of those all-inclusive resorts.
Okay.
I won the beer drinking contest and the frisbee throw. Those are my 2 claims to all-inclusive fame.
I was just thinking, Bob, the only time I've ever seen you hammered was in Duluth at an appearance we were making up there. And you were going around from table to table. What do you want? There's like barking at everybody.
Oh, I just knew I'd get away with it because I was drinking.
Yeah, sure.
If you, Tom. I do the Gelfand finger point where he's got the middle finger out.
Yeah. Let me just tell you something. Okay.
Have either of you guys ever seen Gelfand point?
No.
Devin, that's what he does. He puts that middle finger out the point.
He does. It's absolutely true.
I don't think he does it on purpose. I think that's just how it goes.
I think you're absolutely right. Gelfand is an interesting individual. Let me put it that way.
Yes, he is. And the world is better for it.
I agree. I love Gelfand. It's unbelievable. That's why maybe people should listen to this show and look at how politics really work. There is no more extreme Democrat than Mike Gelfand. And we don't really have an extreme righty on the show, though, do we? I mean, there's
I don't know.
Not extreme. But Gelfand, I don't give a Gelfand's extreme as hell, but I love the guy. I don't care about his politics. Who cares?
No, and he is. I think he's tamped it down because he's on with me every Wednesday.
Oh, not on
this
show.
Your
He
show.
doesn't.
He doesn't tamp it.
No, he does not on the family show.
Well, I've explained to him, Mike. We've got maybe 50% are left, 50% are right. We want to try to not offend one side or the other too much.
Oh, they all get offended anyway. What's the difference?
Yeah, yes, they do.
The extremists do.
So I got to ask you now. I'm every Monday and Friday. I'm on with you.
Mhm.
Will we have a world on Friday with the stock market crashing and with World War III? We're on the precipice of that.
Yes, I
with
know,
Iran wanting to annihilate Israel. We have to defend them.
Oh, absolutely. We have to defend Israel. There's no question about it. I still can't believe the college students in this country that have turned on Jews. Matter of fact, we have a Jew coming on in a couple of minutes to talk about the economy. So I'll ask him, is it going to be World War III?
And Tom, here's the other thing. I mean, how do you defend a people now that they've said, Iran has said, and Hezbollah has said, they are now going to go after civilians, Israeli civilians. Because they've decided that because they took out one of their leaders, that this is how they're going to retaliate.
Yeah. Well, thanks for closing on such a positive note, Bob.
What? No, the Twins. Hey, happy days! They beat a team that's lost 20 in a row. One off the record. 36 years since a team's lost 20 in a row. The mighty White Sox. Now they're down to 4.5. Got Cleveland coming up, 4-game set. I'll tell you what, they win that one, they're in great shape. They lose that one, they're 8 behind or 8.5 behind.
Okay, Bob, if there's a show on Friday, if the economy doesn't completely collapse, there's a show Friday, we'll talk to you then.
I live for that moment. Hopefully all of us will be alive for that moment.
That would be great.
I don't want people hitting buttons,
No, I understand. No doubt.
I don't want hopefully Biden doesn't get the shakes near the button.
All right, it's time for you to leave, Zanny.
I wonder if he does it with the middle finger. All right. See you later.
Bob Sansevere Sports brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. That is minnesotapersonalinjury.com. I just talked to Josh. He is kind enough to come on right after this. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You are indeed, and our very, very special guests, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I have not seen the stats that everybody's very, very concerned about. Josh Arnold now joining us. Josh, thank you for jumping on with us today. I appreciate it.
Happy to do that.
So everybody's terrified this morning, Josh. How do you feel about this whole deal?
Well, did you give any preview that the Japanese market sold off about 12% overnight?
Mm-hmm.
Did you give any preview that there's a tremendous amount of borrowed money in the market? And we call it the stock market and the bond market and the Bitcoin market. And when things go down, there's margin calling. So that adds to a lot of selling. Not to mention, of course, there is concern outside of the United States and even in the United States that the economy is slowing. And the Federal Reserve is behind the curve now, because the Fed has kept up their mantra of higher interest rates and a tighter money supply for longer, and until they see the data that shows that inflation is under control. And if you recall, last week we talked that the Fed did not do anything at their last meeting, and even did indicate that they could possibly consider starting to reduce interest rates in September, data dependent. Well, the very next day, the data, which I do believe the Fed had access to, indicated that that unemployment was kicking up, as the jobless number on Thursday was more than twice as high as expected. Then we had an ISM number, manufacturing number, that indicated that manufacturing was down for the 8th month in a row. And then Friday, the monthly jobs number came in with only 114,000 new jobs created in the month of July. I'd say a quarter of those jobs were in government, and another chunk were in we'll call it hospital and health services jobs that were not high-paying jobs, but lower-paying jobs. And that has been a continuing trend over the last several years. More government jobs being created and more lower-wage jobs being created, but not higher-wage jobs being created. And then on top of that, there's a little number that might have slipped by, that unemployment had gone from 3.9% to 4.3% in a month.
So, Josh, what's the cause of all this? I mean, is there 1, 2, 3 specific things what happened?
Well, I think there's probably just several things going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I can put it mildly. Higher taxes and more regulation. And that creates lower incomes and lower desire on a part of many corporations to expand businesses. Do bear in mind something. This current administration, this current president, is different than the previous president. Previous president, who is currently running for office, said that private enterprise is going to be the source of driving the economy.
Oh, God.
And the current president, when he came into office, said government is responsible for driving the economy. Government is responsible for making things go. And, you know, the difference is, you know, one group believes in less government and incentives for private industry to make things work, and the other group says that the solution to all your problems is more government.
Right.
And that to me is where things are happening. You cannot have, you know, the government start saying, well, here's what we're going to do for industrial policy. And on this is on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
My belief was that tax cuts work, reducing capital gains taxes work, tariffs, and this is one of my big issues with I'll say Trump. He raised tariffs. After you cut taxes, he raised tariffs. Once you start raising tariffs, the economy starts contracting, and tariffs, the cost of tariffs filters through the economy, which raises prices and hurts individuals and as well as hurts consumption. And were it not for COVID and the amount of money that's being spent on COVID, the economy would have tilted into a recession sooner. I'll say could have happened in 2020 rather than happening in 2022. Now, the Fed is, you know, pretty aggressive in raising interest rates because of a lot of inflation. The inflation, which I've covered before, was caused by a lot of excess government spending and people raising prices, of course, when demand outstrips supply coming out of the COVID-induced shutdown. And the government, or our government, has continued spending and tying a lot of things to their industrial policy, which would include the CHIPS Act. So here's a negative aspect. We have one company called Intel, which has gotten a tremendous amount of money from the government. And Intel, when they reported their earnings last week, showed big problems. Just not able to compete with the likes of NVIDIA or Advanced Micro Devices, even with all the government money that they have gotten to build new factories. Now, the factories are not up and running yet, but Intel has gotten something like $8 billion for new factory builds. And they announced they missed their earnings. They guided down, they cut their dividend, and they're cutting 15% of their workforce. That's pretty significant.
It is indeed. You know, to close, I have to ask you a question. Because, and you and I have talked about this, I don't have a dog in this fight right now. I'm kind of stuck in the middle. And it's because of exactly what you're talking about. I think they're both talking about economic plans, and neither one of them are going to work.
Yeah, you can't have.
No.
I mean, this to me is horrendous. You have one candidate calls himself Mr. Tariff Man.
Yep.
Once, if he's elected, he's going to raise tariffs 10% across the board.
Terrible idea.
And 60% from anything coming into China, because we have to crush China.
Yeah, got to punish him.
And the other guy who is currently in office said, "Well, I'll see your 60% coming in from China. I'll raise it 40% to 100% on certain items." And not to mention that, I'm also going to put a kibosh on technology, in particular semiconductor sales to China. What? You guys don't think that somebody in China can't go to Hong Kong or have somebody in the United States buy chips here and ship them out? You've got to be nuts.
I know.
So there is no, we'll just call it, there's no three-dimensional thinking going on. This is just out and out stupidity trying to create an economic war that's going to have nasty effects on consumers, but most voters are not thinking about taxes, or if they're thinking about taxes, it's the rich don't pay their fair share, but nobody ever gives you a number or percent.
No, never.
And nobody bothers, and the media doesn't bother to say, hey, the top 25% of income earners pay 85% or 80% of all income tax.
That's correct.
And they don't bother to tell you that the lower 50% of income earners pay less than 4% of the income tax. And the lowest group of income earners gets money back. They don't talk about that.
No, they do not.
So that's one thing. The other thing none of these clowns are talking about is the importance of trade. And okay, Josh, you're a globalist because you believe in global trade. Of course I do. Take a look at any major U.S. company. They do business all over the world. I don't care if you're Pepsi-Cola, Coca-Cola,
right,
McDonald's, or favorite Apple. They do business all over the world. And the rest of the world can't compete with U.S. companies. Witness what goes on in Europe with the EU going after Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Facebook, and now NVIDIA, a chip manufacturer, because they're all quote-unquote monopolists, preventing the Europeans companies from competing. That's a bunch of B as in boy and S as in Sam.
All right, Pally.
Now you're getting me started here.
Well, we'll close with this one. We'll close with this. I don't like the policies from the economic policies from Trump. I don't like the economic policies from Kamala Harris. So, maybe I'll vote for somebody else. And then I find out the third candidate just killed a bear and tried to hide it underneath a bicycle. That's who we got running for president. It's like, oh my God, this is what we got, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Well, here, I'll leave you with this.
Okay.
Buy stocks, but buy stocks, have a lot of patience. And, oh, by the way, buy stocks when somebody is giving you an opportunity to buy stuff on sale.
I like it. All right, Pally, we will talk to you tomorrow. You're going to be on again tomorrow, aren't you?
I'd love to be on with you tomorrow. We can go into this a little bit more detail, including some questions I've got. Did you know that Warren Buffett sold half of his Apple? Yeah, that's true, but it happened between April 1st and June 30th. It didn't happen last week.
Right. All right. Between now and tomorrow, I want you to go kill a bear and try to hide it under a bicycle. Okay.
Well, I'm on a bicycle, and I couldn't even hide a toy bear under.
There you go. All right, pal. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Bye,
John.
stocks.
Very nice of you to come on because it's, did you guys Do you feel the same way? I'm going through the situation where I got nobody right now because the economic policies of both sides are horrible. We're going to lose either way.
Yeah, it's not. I feel like they don't have maybe the most concrete, foolproof plan to pull us out of any type of recession or economic downfall. But yeah, so it's tough to kind of just on that alone pick one candidate over another.
I'm going to have anybody new coming in. Well, obviously RFK took himself out by doing what he just did, so that's pretty much over.
Yeah, no, I think we're this far down the rabbit hole and close to the finish that it's either Harris or Trump.
So we're screwed.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Is that what you're saying?
Probably.
I'm writing in Bert.
We will write in Kristen Burt right after this, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. In the morning, I've got to be right because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather. So you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you talk to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast. And I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBernardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBernardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, the woman we want to run for president of the United States, Kristen Burt. Entertainment news brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com. to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. You have to run for president. We got nobody else.
I don't want the job. Don't give it to me. Don't write me in. I don't even want one vote. Don't do it.
Honest to God, things are looking a little shady economically right now. It's not, and both sides, and that's why I don't promote anybody, because their economic policies are terrible.
Well, here we are.
And here we are.
Here we are, honestly.
You're right. We got yet another election we have to live through, and there's really no good outcome looking forward. So we'll see. That's why we have Kristen Burt coming on and talk about entertainment news, because it makes us much happier.
Yes. Now, I heard you watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off for the first time this weekend ever.
First time ever. Yep.
How did you miss it, at least through the Blockbuster generation?
No,
you didn't go to the movie theater to see it.
I don't know. Catherine had never seen it either. She's the one that brought it up. She brought up 3 movies that she wanted to watch, and we watched all 3 in one Friday, one Saturday, one Sunday. And, well, I explained why I had never seen The Big Lebowski, because I was going to interview the Coen brothers, who are from Minnesota. I was going to interview them about the movie, and then somebody told them that I was a prick or something. I don't know what, but I went to the phone line and there was nobody there. So I lit him up for about 10, 12 minutes, and we haven't gotten along ever
As
since.
you do, just like, let me just lit him up. And
Exactly Uncle Tommy's approach to everything. Really? You going to treat me like that? Then you can kiss my sister's black cat ass.
Great idea.
It is a good idea. The show worked out pretty well. I don't know if you know that or not.
It did, actually. I will listen to you on that. Longevity, you've got it.
It is all true. But yeah, I'm telling you, all three movies, there was, I keep forgetting the name of the middle one, the serious one, it's something Horizon, Horizon?
Deepwater Horizon.
Deepwater Horizon. There you go.
Deepwater Horizon. Now,
Oh,
what did you think of Ferris Bueller's? Because I feel like this is like a timeless. Well, Tevin and AJ, have you seen it?
I have not.
Yes.
All right, Tevin, you've got homework to do. I think it holds up. Like we know it's clearly 80s, but in terms of like the humor and the time period that it represents, I think it holds up.
I think it's one, and a great surprise because we had never seen the movie before. All of a sudden you look up, there's a knock at the door, you look up and there's Louis Anderson. Doesn't say a word, but he's just standing there staring at the camera.
He's in it. You've got a random cameo by Charlie Sheen that comes at the end.
That's phenomenal.
Jennifer Grey with her old nose. She looks completely different. I've seen her in person. I don't know if I've ever told this story. I went to a baby shower and it was for one of the Dancing with the Stars pros. Now we're going back probably about 10 years. And they had us all bring in our own baby photos. And then they gave us a sheet and they're like, guess who every single baby is. So I had been talking to this woman, blah, 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 blah. And then I look at the baby photos and I'm like, well, I know that's Joel Grey. And then I realized, oh my God, I'd been talking to Jennifer Grey. Had no clue because she doesn't look like the Jennifer Grey that I knew from like Dirty Dancing or Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So wild.
No, very, very well written movies. All three of them. We loved all three of them. We'd never seen any of the three. Catherine picked them out. We watched them. It just, I will tell you one thing about the Coen brothers. That movie is, they've done a number of really good movies, but that movie is really good.
Maybe you can have them back on now.
If they want to come on, then come on. They probably wouldn't call them a couple of pricks for not calling in.
Be like, I'd like you to do a press junket for a movie you did a long time ago.
Exactly. It's only 40 years ago or something. Was it 86, something like that?
I feel like that was like early 90s.
Oh, was it?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yeah.
No, The Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski was 98. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like that was 90s. So.
But phenomenal as well. Just real. John Goodman is so incredible. And look at John Goodman now as compared to then. He weighs about 200 pounds less than he did.
John Goodman has been coming up. If your governor becomes the VP candidate, John Goodman's name has been thrown around for SNL. Could you see that?
Really?
Yeah. As well as Andy Richter and Al Franken.
Oh my God.
Who would you pick to play Tim Waltz?
Who would I pick to play? Who's the biggest prick of all three of them?
Oh, no, who could do it legitimately?
I think Andy Richter, as far as like the look, is the closest to.
With like a bald cap or something.
Yeah.
No, are they going to announce it today, Kristen? You know, the word is that they're going to announce it today.
I feel like they'll like leak it out somehow, like a social media video or something like that. They'll do something that they think is trendy and cool and will go viral. That's my thought.
You know what amazes me about that? I never thought I would live to see the day, because of where I grew up, I suppose, where for the first time ever, they talk about a Jew being the vice president, and now's the time they bring it up. I mean, it just, things are so out of whack. I just don't understand people treating American Jews the way they're treating them. I don't get it.
I just want someone who is fit to serve. That's it.
Well, good luck to you, because
I know, but fit to serve. I mean, I don't really care about their religion too much, you know. I mean, unless they were like extremists. If they were an extremist or something, that's one thing. But I'm talking about just normal people practicing their faith. Practice your faith.
Absolutely. As long as you don't run over everybody else with it or make anybody else look bad doing it. I agree with you 100% on that. But I tell you, for Catherine's choices for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all three movies were just fantastic. We laughed like mad at Ferris Bueller and at Big Lebowski.
This is the perfect time to go old school too, because we still have one more week of the Olympics and like content is pretty low. So it's either like catch up on stuff if you don't want to watch sports. Guys, I've been up since 3:30, by the way. I got up at 3:30 to watch beam finals. So
okay, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you ever in your life pole vaulted and knocked the bar off?
With my junk? I don't have junk.
With my junk?
That video played so much over social media. Like everybody played it over and over and over again. And I'm like, if you're going to lose the gold medal, might as well be that. Won't be short on dates.
And it's very clear that it did happen. I mean, it wasn't just, it looked like it happened. It definitely happened.
Yeah. And some analysts, I saw them say, like, if you can see, he hit his knees first slightly and then it was his thighs. But, you know, the slow motion with what it got caught on, you were like, okay. And I was like, has anyone ever heard of a dance belt? Do they not wear dance belts or like some type of jock strap in that sport? Because it didn't look like there was any support.
No, he looked like he needed a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah. I mean, because there's a reason why a lot of athletes wear a dance belt, a jock strap, a cup, or whatever you want to call it. There's all different versions of it, hard and soft type of materials, but literally. But it is one of those things that it is one of those things that I just could not stop laughing at. Sorry.
It was funny. There's no question.
It was funny.
No question about it. But
and NBC being super shady and like, here's the slow motion. They did it today, actually, during beam finals. Spoiler alert for anyone who cares about the outcome. Don't listen. But Suni Lee, actually from Minnesota, she fell on beam and she split the beam. So she landed on her crotch. And they showed it slow motion, like up close. And I was like, no, we don't do that. You're in a leotard, like up close. It was a lot, I thought.
I would imagine you're right. That had to hurt like oh God.
And she got back on and finished her routine flawlessly after that really jarring spill.
So what's with the crotchal Olympics?
Was that a cat?
I don't.
It sounded like a cat in here. What was that?
There's not a cat in my room right now.
No,
so.
it was here.
Yeah, it sounded like there's a cat. I don't know
Did the cat distribution service come and find you?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
If that's it, like I'll take the cat. You can send it to LA.
Was it Andy just making cat noises?
I don't know. I see Andy. I don't see a cat though.
Andy, is there a cat out there?
No cat.
No cat.
No cat.
Sorry.
He's a cat person.
City is haunted by a ghost cat.
Yeah, there's a ghost cat in here, but
ghost cat.
So yeah, I mean, the Olympics this year is it doing well as far as viewers are concerned?
It's up 80% over Tokyo.
80%. Jesus.
It's they've made alone just from advertising $1.25 billion.
So like what you make doing this show.
Exactly. And and you know, what I think is interesting too is that the time zone really does matter because it's easier when it is in a European country, South America, or the US, of course, versus any of the Asian countries. So I think that, you know, the IOC might look into that because NBC is one of the major supporters of the Olympics and broadcasters.
So you think you loving the Olympics so far?
It's just, you know, today was the last day of gymnastics, so I will be getting sleep this week. I will be watching breaking at the end of the week, but I think that this has been a really fun gymnastics to watch. We're finally out of an era of abusive gymnastics under the Karolis, and you actually saw healthy, happy athletes cheering each other on, cheering their competitors on. There wasn't that like there's a Cold War still left over from you know the 80s and things like that. And I think that you really saw a lot of camaraderie, just like I guess what the Olympic spirit is about. And I think a lot of people really just enjoyed being able to watch that instead of everyone just hating on each other. It's not worth it.
No, I agree with you. But boy, I tell you what, from what I've seen, the American swimmers are really kicking ass, aren't they?
Female swimmers, not the men didn't do as well as the
long distance swim. I thought an American man won that.
He did, but we did not dominate like we've had in prior years in most of the men's competition. Katie Ledecky killing it again.
Oh, no, we're going to have to hear from Brittany again.
Oh, no, my cousin. No, but I mean, listen, if you're going to have a cousin who's a goat, like you might as well have Katie Ledecky in your family.
Mine would be a GOO. No, it'd be a googe. Instead of a goat, it'd be a googe. Get out of jail.
Out of jail. Were they competing at the Prison Olympics?
Yeah, Prison Olympics. They should have a Prison Olympics. Absolutely, they should.
Yeah, they probably do. They probably like beat up a prisoner who.
Yeah, quickest to like file a shank out of like a toothbrush.
Who creates the sharpest shank in 15 minutes?
Very, very negative, I think. But I'm glad that you're keeping an eye. The Olympics that I've seen have been really, really good. I've been doing some movie watching, obviously, too. But it's been a good Olympics, no doubt.
Yeah, and I say what I love about it too, I think NBC has finally found the balance of like how to handle streaming and how to handle the primetime broadcast. Primetime, maybe you're at work, you don't want to get up in the middle of the night, whatever it is, and that's your time to settle down. You watch all the highlights of what's happened that day.
Mm-hmm.
Or the hardcore fans have everything right in front of them on Peacock. You can separate it by sport. You can separate it by medal ceremony. There are replays available. So if you want to watch the full broadcast, it's there. And I think that's been really worthwhile for people who are invested in the Olympics.
No question about it. So movies, Olympics, it was a great weekend. That's all.
It was a great weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Chris, we talked about it, I think, briefly last week, but Dirty Pop, the documentary about the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, that's on Netflix.
That's a good show.
Have you guys?
Yeah.
I never realized that that the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC were created by the same person, and that
Lou Pearlman.
Lou Pearlman, and it was all built on this Ponzi scheme where he's frauding all these people out of money to fund the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. And then also they used AI for his like recreation because he died in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of eerie seeing this dead guy. They used the words from his book, so I guess it wasn't all made up. But is that something that we're going to see more of, is the use of AI for people that have deceased and make them look like they're giving a documentary style interview?
Yeah, I think we'll see it a lot more. And I know that a lot of services are trying to get celebrity endorsements. I know Meta is signing up celebrities and paying them tons of money to be able to use their voice for certain things for AI.
Yep.
And so I do think it'll be a documentary device to kind of tell a story if someone is no longer with us. I hope it's used responsibly. I say that, kind of hesitantly because I worry about things like true crime documentaries are so big. Do we really want to bring like a killer's words back or a victim's words back?
Yep.
Like there are certain lines that are going to be crossed, and it's going to be up to all of us to start like, having the outcry of like, we don't want to see this and things like that. Because it's creepy all on its own with Lou Pearlman, because Lou Pearlman was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Did you ever interview him, Tom, back in the boy band era?
Yep.
I mean, he
I
was
said, "You'll never die. You look so healthy."
Right. He only weighed like 300
a lot of weight. Yeah.
500.
He was, and I mean, what he did, he took advantage financially of all of those boy bands.
Yep.
Unbelievable. They should be sitting on a fortune and a half, and they're not. Like a lot of their money came after they managed to separate themselves from Lou Pearlman. That documentary is really good on Netflix. I watched some of it this weekend. I haven't finished it, but I'm dying to just because it's such a relevant pop culture story. And it's a story that's kind of tale as old as time. It happens over and over again in the music industry.
Well, and I agree with you. I mean, you brought this up last week that a guy weighed 500 pounds on the blimp company. Who would have ever thought?
Shit, that was wild too. It was like all the blimps crashed, and then he used the insurance money, essentially committed insurance fraud. To now we're going on tour, Backstreet Boys.
There we go. We got the money.
Honestly,
have you ever been in a blimp, Tom?
No, I never have. No.
I rode the Goodyear blimp in 2011. It's
fun?
The old blimp, though. They've retired, I think, the old blimp, and they have like a new high-tech blimp. And the old blimp would go up at a rake like this.
Oh God.
And it's like foot pedals. And I had the most handsome pilot. So I was like, I'm just going to put my faith at this really gorgeous pilot. I called him Captain Gorgeous, Captain Handsome or something like that. But literally I was like, he's not going to, no, we'll be fine. Like once you're up there, it's fine. It's like going up on a hot air balloon, but it is the steep rake that you ascend. I'm sweating right now thinking about it because I'm afraid of heights. So this was the worst thing for me. I was just like, oh my gosh, let's just level off. And then you just glide in. That was easy, but the takeoff was terrible.
I'm assuming after that intro that your husband's out of town, huh?
He is out of town.
There's a shot. There's a
My
shot.
husband listens like every single morning. And you know what he does? After I get off, he's like, they're talking about you. Let me tell you what they just said.
It's always positive, though.
So he's probably right now listening for all I know. So that's fine.
You know, let me just point out how gorgeous AJ and Tevin are because, you know.
Well, I would probably crash the blimp, though. I'm not.
No, probably not a good blimp driver.
Foot pedals.
I wouldn't be able to get off the ground.
No, God, no. Kristen, a brilliant report, I thought. You made us all very happy.
I'm glad to hear that.
The economy's crashing, but you made us happy. So that's good.
That's my goal. All right. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Okay, we're going to take about 10, 15 minutes to go look for that cat that was meowing. Because, because that was a meow. I'm sorry, but it was
100%.
I don't know what that would have, what else that could have been.
I don't either. It's like, well, we'll find out. The Family Show in about 10 minutes.